and welcome back to this amazing talk show, the Integrated Life Talk Show. And we are back with season 2. And it is really exciting to be part of this show and welcome each one of you who have been with us in this journey since we started with season 1 of the Integrated Life Show. And yes, we took a break 2 months, December, Jan, to align with our vision, to look at where we are heading, what is the focus that we want, and how we would take this show, how we take this integrated life ahead for all of you. And we are back with season 2, and this is really exciting for all of us, for me and Sagar. So please put in the comment section where you have logged in from, which part of the city, which part of the state, which part of the world you have logged in from for this integrated life talk show. Yes, Sagar.
The most amazing part is we are doing this today for the first time, the first ever season, which is season 1. We had 2 different screens, we were at
Yes.
each location. Today, being Valentine Day, we thought, why not create something different? So, to start with, I've got my chocolate, my share of chocolate from the Cake Alchemist, which is personalized with the picture, and we're going to eat it after the show, of course. And don't worry, if you've missed it, you can always write to Bharti and get your personalized chocolate even after Valentine, because you can always share it with your loved ones. So, coming back to the show, the last topic that we did was urgency. The matter of urgency was taught in certain books, and what it meant is you have to create a sense of urgency. You don't need to have urgency. Like, for simple example, Marshall Goldsmith talks in his book, The Earned Life, and he talks about Alan Morley, the Ford system, which talks about business planning review. The choice that was given to the members in the Ford company was they have to come, they have to deliver the business plan, and 5 minutes was given for each member. The best part here was not the 5 minute slot, not the review, not the management that was being involved and doing everything, but the best part here was the sense of urgency. Every week, you as a leader have to come and show what is in red, what is in yellow, and what is in green. Now, that creates a sense of urgency, a sense of motivation, a sense of soft competition between the members. And that is exactly what we wanted to share in the last episode, that create urgency by setting milestones for yourself. Not the urgency which gives you stress, but an urgency which gives you sense of fulfillment, happiness, and gratitude. Because what are we talking about? We are talking about the integrated life, and that's exactly what we want for ourselves and for people around us. But what are we talking about today?
So, since we have this 2023, the beginning of the year, and when we look at this beginning of the year, we always look at what are we going to do in this whole year. And coming from a very professional background, we all have this set mindset that yes, we will look at our career, we look at our health, our relationships, we look at our business. All this is very important because these are important areas of our life. The important part is what is the vision that we have for each area of our life? How do we look at our life? How do we look at as a whole? And that's what today's episode is, what we are going to talk about. We are going to look at how we look at our visions, why it is important, and what exactly vision is. Are we actually getting confused with dreams or goals or some targets or milestones? Or are we really far-sighted to look at our life in a particular way that we want to? And that's what the focus of today's episode is going to be. So if I have to ask you, all right, that say for example, you want to go to some destination, okay? Why do you want to go to that destination? Because one of my friends said it's a good place to visit. So I look at that person, I look at my friend, I take the recommendation, I said, okay, I also want to do that. Now, here is what happens. When you book a cab and when you ask the cab driver that take me to some place, the cab driver is going to ask you, tell me exactly where do you want to go? I want the exact address, the house number or the society or the lane, the landmark. Tell me exactly where do you want to go. Now, instead of giving exactly what you want to do, you just give a random kind of a address and you say, You move, I will tell you as we progress. All right. Now, the cab driver is going to tell you, either you tell me the exact place where you want to go, or if the cab driver is smart enough, he will take you for a ride. He'll say, okay, I'll take you where I want. All right. And he'll take you around the whole city, and then we'll keep on checking you. Are you sure this is the place? If not, I'll take you further. And that's exactly what happens with our life. We just move as the wind blows. We just look at towards the sides where we look at our competitors, we look at our friends, we look at our colleagues, and we say, oh, he's become a manager or a senior manager. I also want to do that. Oh, he has reduced the weight. I also want to do that. Oh, he's got something in the life. I also want that. We always look at a comparative picture of our life. Is that the vision that we want? Having our life in a very competitive way? Or are we the architect of our own life where we built our own castle, where we built our own life in the way that we want it? Why? Because we want to live that integrated life that gives us the sense of fulfillment, that gives us happiness, and we always feel gratitude towards whatever we have, whatever we achieve. If the answer is yes, then you're at the right place, you're at the right time to watch this show with Sagar and me, talking about how we can really put vision in place, how we can align lot of elements that goes behind one word, that's vision. And that's what the episode is going to focus on.
Before we get on with the vision part, who are we? Well, so I'll introduce myself, and I'm sure Bharati will speak about herself a little bit, and we'll give you a quick background. So, I'm an author of two books, a global keynote speaker, and a productivity explorer. I help family owned businesses to set up autonomous work culture, help them gain peace and prosperity by implementing processes and systems in place. And that's exactly what we all want in our lives too. And that is what triggered us with this thought of creating the integrated life show. How about you, Bharti?
Well, I'm a parallel entrepreneur. I run two businesses. One is the business, yes, the bakery business. It's Valentine's, so I launched these printed chocolates and very, very personalized chocolates. So this is what I got this for Sagar. So when I look at this printed chocolate, I always tell Sagar that our friendship is sealed in this chocolate. It's going to be with us forever. So of course, it's a chocolate, so we are going to eat it too. And another business is my training and speaking business. So I speak on proactivity. I help businesses, business leaders to adapt to proactive approach in their workplace, at the workplace, and in the personal life. That's what me helping business leaders to be proactive with a productive mindset. And that's where Sagar and me we came together to have this talk show for all of us, because ultimately what we want is the integrated life that we want for us, for our family, for all the people who are in our life, helping us, supporting us, taking care of us.
Absolutely. So, hi Girish, hi Jatin, and Mansi. Thank you for joining. Happy Valentine's Day. Let me wish you on the show. So, Mansi is my support pillar, my wife, and she's here on the show. Well, now let's talk about why vision. Well, vision gives you a sense of direction. Like Bharti said, when you're in a cab, it gives you the sense of direction. Secondly, it gives you a purpose. It gives you a purpose to act, to take action every day. Otherwise, how would you continue doing mundane tasks if you don't have a vision, right? As I said about the business planning review or business process review, you can't do the same thing every week unless and until you have a vision, you have a purpose, you have something that you're striving for. Second, it also gives you accountability. When you have a vision, you have milestones, you have accountability. Exactly the same way, continuing the example, like you're in a car, you know that you want to go 10 kilometers or 20 kilometers, and imagine you have a goal post at every 1 kilometer. You would celebrate it, right? Or when you're watching a Google map and trying to reach a location, and when it says 15 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, it reduces your stress and it gives you a relief that yes, you've done. And what happens when you achieve that? you achieve a sense of fulfillment. So imagine Google Map also plays and triggers with your mind. It shows you how many minutes you will take to reach. It ensures that it gives you a little extra time considering a low speed. And when you drive at a little higher speed, maybe 50 or 60 kilometers is a normal speed, and you reach within the time, what you get? You get happiness. Oh, I reached before the Google Map time that showed me. Resulting, you feel happy. The minute you feel happy, you next time use it by default. So even these apps are using dopamine, or they're using a sense of fulfillment, giving you happiness. Now, if they can give you vision, why are you running your life without a vision? I'm sure you all have a vision, but have you actually identified the milestones, the driving factor, the direction? We're not talking about the destination. You can talk a vision of 10 years, but every year, are you progressing? You don't have to look at somebody and say, oh, he's there and I'm still here. Well, that's his journey, and this is your journey. All of us are born with different karmas. Each soul has their own journey. You have to enjoy the process, you have to enjoy the journey. Creating that vision helps you enjoying that journey. And that reminds me of Mallika Rao from Hyderabad. And she helped us in 2021, 2020, if I remember, where she took us through design life by design course, and she helped us create a vision board. And trust me, that was absolutely magical, because I wrote 10 things, Bharti, in 2020, wrote it, and I started focusing on those work, closed the
Right.
diary, and kept it.
Right.
During 2021, when I was shifting to Vadodara, I happened to get the diary back, and I'm not joking. I might have the diary and I can show it to others next time when we have the show. Out of 10, I've completed 9 things.
Wow.
And why? Because I wrote them, and it's not that I forgot about them. I wrote them and had a conviction, and I started taking action to achieve that. I started taking action to, fulfill those things. And that's exactly what vision gives you. It gives you a picture, a statement, a sentence to reach to your destination. It gives you a direction of where you want to lead through. And that's exactly what we are going to talk about, that you need vision to set a direction for yourself. But what more, or how can you be more proactive when you want to use a vision, or when you want to set up a vision? Because yes, you're productive, you know your resources, you're aware about it, but what if you're not proactive enough to set your vision in time? Like in 2023, if I'm going to set my vision right now, I've already lost 45 days approximately.
Very true.
So over to you, the productivity queen.
So here is
The
what
proactivity
the
queen.
proactivity. So here is what I would like to give you two analogies, but the first one is this is a concept in NLP, neuro linguistic programming, where we always look at some of our programmings, how we are wired, how we are programmed in certain way. So there are some people in the world, they always want to see the big picture first. They want to look at it how the whole frame or how the whole picture looks like. So they would always ask for, okay, tell me what it is, tell me how it will look like. Whereas there are some people in this world, they would always ask for details. They will first tell you that, okay, tell me, how are we going to do this? What are the resources we would need? How are we going to plan this? What could be the first step? What are the actions? Where do we going to head? What are the milestones? So they will look at those bits and pieces. Now, if I have to give you the analogy, say in our childhood, we would have played with puzzle. Remember? So we had those small pieces jumbled up together. Unless and until we have a big picture, we were not able to solve these puzzle.
Bang on.
Right? So if we have to put the pieces together, we would always take the reference of the big picture. That big picture is nothing but your vision.
Wow.
If you have those small pieces in your life, you may be playing with those pieces, all right? And putting those things somehow together, you may feel that, oh, I'm reaching somewhere. But that somewhere may not be, it may not give you the big picture. It will be anywhere, but not to the point that you want. Why? Because the big picture is missing. If you have a big picture, then it will be easy for you to get to that big picture. What are the pieces that I want? How should I collate those pieces together to create that big picture that I want? That's what the vision that we are talking about. So, a vision will have the amalgamation of everything. It will have your goals that you want to set, a very, very specific, exact goals. It will also have the milestones, what Sagar already mentioned, that will give you some kind of, say, happiness that, yes, I reached here. It will give you relief that, yes, I covered this much distance. It will also have some kind of values that you have. Very important. It's like a building blocks, the bricks, because without your values you won't be able to take any decision. Without your beliefs you will always be looking at some challenges and roadblocks, because your beliefs are coming in your way or they are helping you to move forward.
Mhm.
But at the end, you would need a lot of these things to complete your big picture. And that's what the vision that we're talking about. So when Sagar mentioned that he created a vision board and he wrote those 10 things, it actually works. It actually works.
Absolutely, it does.
Because when you have that clarity, the focus of a big picture, the brain takes that image as a reference image. And our brain understands the language of pictures, images, and symbols.
Mhm.
So if you're giving that, the brain will always gives you a reminder that this is what you want to achieve. This is what your
Yeah,
vision
it
is.
gives
This
you a
is what you
recall.
want. It will remind you again and again. And that's where you will head back to the focus that, oh yes, I want to do this. Now it will all happen at an unconscious level. Why? Because you have done the exercise before. So you don't need to do the exercise again and
Again and
again.
again.
You do it before, you do it, right at the beginning, or maybe, even 2023 started. So in the month of December or in the first month of 2023, you do that exercise, you clear that vision that you have, and then rest of the 11 months is what you focus on, the different pieces that will bring the vision together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Bharti. While we are talking about this, as Bharti rightly said, there are various aspects of vision. We have the link right there. So you can
Yes.
click the link and actually download the checklist with all the questions and write down your vision. It's okay. It's just 14th of February. Even you can write down your vision now of 2023. And we will help you to achieve them in case you have any doubts of how to. Because don't worry about the how to, like Bharti said. Just write down what you want to achieve. How to, leave it to universe. Because remember the Bollywood movie where Shah Rukh Khan said, you just keep your desire or you keep your wish and the whole
Yes.
universe will work to get it. Even that's the same thing said by Rhonda Bryan when she's talking about The Secret.
Yep.
Even law of attraction talks about it. But hey, just manifesting and sitting with your closed eyes and manifesting does not give you roses, right? You have to put a little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of
Yes.
sunlight, a little bit of water, and you get a beautiful rose to give it to other people that you love on the Valentine Day. So that brings us to a story, or I would say, let me share something which is very personal to me. So I was born in slums in Mumbai. I'm sure I've spoken about it a few times and people know about it. So I'm not going to elaborate more on it. But what I'm going to talk now is during that time, I had a vision, not of a big house, not of a villa, not of a mansion, but I only had one vision. My mom, my dad should be sitting in a balcony or maybe on a bench where they are looking down, maybe third floor, fourth floor of a building, and it's raining, and they both are just enjoying their tea and pakoda. Of course, India, we love pakoda when it's the rainy season out there. So that's what the vision was. And trust me, Bharti, I went to London, started working as a bartender, litter picker, and whatnot. I never had a stoppage or something that stopped me for working as a bartender or a litter picker is because my purpose was higher than me. The vision that I had was bigger than me, and that always gave me energy. So, what we are talking here is give a vision for yourself which gives you energy, which pushes you to achieve more, rather than creating a vision which is within your comfort zone, right? Remember when you're a child, like you said, the puzzle, we take the nine
Yeah.
pieces, 10 pieces, then we go with 50, 100,
50, 100.
and then we look for bigger and bigger and
Oh,
bigger,
yes. Oh,
right?
yes.
And when we achieve that, what happens? We smile, we are happy.
Yes.
But next time we continue because first time we might have taken half an hour, then we try it
Right.
again, so
Right.
do it in the less time. So
Right.
there's always a milestone, there's always an opportunity to grow, there's always an opportunity to do something better. So don't worry about failures. Don't worry about how the vision will shape. Just ensure what is the thing that you want. The checklist is right there. Click on the link, take the checklist, and download it. And you can write your vision, share it with us, and we are more than happy to help you on designing your vision. Today, after 10 years, approximately, if I'm right, not 10, even I think it's more than 10, 2011. So, yeah, approximately 11 years. With God's grace, blessings of family, members, and everyone, I own a villa. A villa that my parents dreamt of. A villa which gave me a space to sit in the garden, sip the morning tea with feeling the grass on my feet, and everything that I had visioned. So, does it mean it came to me directly? No. It started with a rented house, investing money into SIPs, growing that, taking loan, going into a flat, an apartment, taking a loan again, repaying the loan, then going to stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And it took 10 years of continuous investment in the vision to reach where I am. But does it mean that my vision is accomplished? No. Now I've got another vision where I'm going to give back to the society, where I've started working with NGOs, with orphanages. Why? Because that's what life is all about. You can't always be selfish,
Wow.
and you need to give back to the society. And
Very true.
that gives you happiness. That is real success. That is real vision. That gives you the purpose to wake up in the morning. Not only the money part, not only the materialistic world, because the minute you end up in material rate race, it never ends, because someone will always have a good car than you, a better wife than you, a better house than you, a better job than you, everything, because the grass is always greener on the other side. But does it mean that you should be unhappy about what you have? Absolutely no. Hell no. Right? Yep.
Sagar, when you were sharing about your vision and how you continuously, I would say consistently, were working towards whatever you wanted in your life, and it took 10 years. I was literally having that goosebumps when you were sharing that I had this vision. All I wanted was that I see my parents doing this when it's raining and having a nice cup of tea. I was literally imagining how that scene was. And when you were sharing that, it was so clear. It was so clear when you were sharing this. And that's exactly what is important.
Clarity.
The clarity is very, very important. It could be like one image that you are seeing as my parents sipping a nice cup of tea. It's raining, they are on the third or the fourth floor, they are in the balcony, they are sitting on the bench. This is, if you remember, we spoke about in our first episode attention to detail.
Yes.
That's exactly. If you don't have the details in that image, the image will not become clear. It will always be blurred.
Okay.
And hence, the vision, when you say, I have a very clear vision, I want to achieve this, that is what the brain looks at. The brain looks at those details, the brain looks at that clarity. It's like very simple. When you focus, defocus. Remember when we spoke about in that episode? The focus, defocus. So you need to keep the lens focused so that you can capture the image that you want. So you keep moving the lens so that it becomes clear for us to capture the vision.
Absolutely.
And that's very interesting when you spoke about your vision and everything. Uh, Interestingly, what we don't realize is we always say I have a dream, and then you write about your wishes, which is very different from a dream. Again, when you write about your dream, it is very different from when you write about your vision. Very different. But then you write your vision as one line, or sometimes you will be surprised. People write paragraphs.
So you mean to say vision is fantasy or dreams are fantasy?
Uh, you may fantasize anything in this world, all
Okay.
right? The brain, or I would say the mind, is like full of imagination. You can do that. When you say vision, which is different from fantasizing, when you say this is my vision, it comes with lot of responsibility, comes with lot of
Absolutely.
accountability, it comes with lot of clarity and focus, and also it comes with purpose. Only saying that I have a vision doesn't work. You need a driving force. Like for him, the driving force was, I want to see my parents enjoying this life in this particular manner. So I have that very clear image of how they are sitting, what they are doing. So that purpose the driving force was so strong, it helped you to fulfill that vision.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like the fuel was so strong that it helped you to move in certain direction.
Absolutely.
And hence, vision with the purpose is important. Only vision will not serve. Only purpose will not serve. So it has to be driven with a very strong purpose, and that's what helped you in doing this.
Absolutely. Bang on.
And most important is the question that you asked. Okay, I fulfilled my villa. I fulfilled that one dream, or I would say one vision that I have about my parents. What next? You move to your another vision. You
Yeah.
move to your another dream with a purpose that you have. And that's where we had coined that one phrase for the integrated life. And would you like to share that, Sagar?
Go on.
The chain of vision, or the short form is
CV.
CV.
So next time you want to share your CV, remember, it's not just a curriculum vitae. You can also add your chain of visions in that CV. Let the recruiter, let the employer know what you look yourself. And that's exactly why people used to ask what you look yourself in 5 years
5 years.
or 10 years, is because they wanted to know your vision, your roadmap. Unfortunately, that question became I think it was abused rather than using it in the right manner.
Correct.
The purpose was to know how clear the person is, how clear the employee is, and what kind of vision he has, what kind of goals he have in his life. And it started gaining into a different corporate jargon. And yeah, but now remember, chain of
Chain of
vision.
vision. So
So not one, but
exactly. You can have as many visions as you want. Say, nobody stops you from achieving your visions. You can have one, two, three, four. Now, they are not your milestones. All right. Milestone is, say, for example, you're going on a highway. You're moving from one city to another. You have, say, 100 kilometers to complete. So when you move in that express highway, you go through milestones. There are some, those small milestones on the right side or the left side of the road, giving you an indication. Sorry, left side of the road, giving you an indication that you have already done with 10 kilometers, 90 kilometers left. Now that's a milestone.
mhm.
So that milestone will help you to go closer to the destination, and that is what the milestones are. So a chain of vision is you fulfill one and you move to next. When you spoke about that, when we were child, we used to play with 50 pieces of vision, sorry, of a
The
puzzle.
puzzle.
And then when we achieved it, we say, okay, this is what we achieved, what next? That's the question, what next? And then you move to another puzzle which has like 100 pieces. When you grow as an adult, now we have like 1,000 pieces, 2,000 pieces. And now I was just going through a Guinness Book of Records where they say that they have like 20,000 pieces. And somebody, like not somebody, but the whole family, they sat together to complete that entire puzzle.
Wow.
Now, that's a kind of vision we have. You move from one to another. You complete one, you move to the next. You complete that one, you move to the next. So it is a chain of visions that actually helps you to get that sense of fulfillment, that happiness, and also brings that gratitude in your life. And that's why we call it as the integrated life that we live in, because chain of visions will help you keep going. It will help you in certain directions, not going anywhere everywhere, just looking at a comparative picture of your life versus somebody else's life. That's not how the life we want to live in, Sagar.
Absolutely. Getting back to chain of visions and continuing from where she said, you can also have parallel visions, right? For example, you can have one vision for your health, you can have one vision for your career, you can have one vision for your family, you can have one vision for your personal life, your love life, if you're not married, or if you're married, for children's or family. You can also have one vision for your own career, or the personal goals, or now most of the people are doing hustling, so moonlighting, or maybe you can have a vision to write a book, or be a public speaker. These can be parallel visions. For example, let's say you have a vision of a financial goal, to become financially free. I'm surprised when I talk to people in colleges, in schools, and other places, when I ask them that, yes, you have a vision of doing this, you have a startup and you're earning, brilliant. what is the investment that you're doing right now?
Mhm.
You know what they give the answer? Oh, it's too early. I'm too young. That's no need. I want to put all the money that I earn in my business. Now imagine you are 21, 22, 24, or even 30. You start investing 10% of your salary and invest it into SIP. I'm not saying invest in any other ways. And well, I'm not a mutual fund agent though. But why am I saying this? To give you an example of a financial vision. 20 years. So let's say you're 20, you start investing 1,000 rupees. As you grow, you keep investing more. By the time you're 40, which means you've invested for 20 years, trust me, Bharti, I'm telling it from my personal experience. Without the startup, you will have so much fun that you can retire at 40.
Oh,
And that's a personal experience. I'm telling you from my personal experience. It happens, it works, and it's a miracle thing. If you doubt, there are so many Gyan gurus available on YouTube who talk about how to invest in mutual fund, how to do SIP, what are the compounding interest. Go Google them and find them out. If not, you can always write a mail to us and we'll connect you to people who are managing our finances and you can take their advice. At the same time, vision also can be linked to something which we call as passion. Why? Because let's say you have a vision that you want to play guitar and you want to be a musician, not to earn money, but just to play a guitar when you go on holidays. And that's something which has been my vision for a long time now. I'm opening
uh-huh.
it today. That I want to learn guitar, I want to play a guitar, and yes, I will achieve that vision one day. Now that I've achieved one big task of creating a home for the family and settling them, now it's the time for me to fly and achieve my own things. And that is where I'm going to start in 2023 or 2024. And who knows, next season or
Nice.
next episode, I'll be playing a good guitar.
Wow.
So that's about vision. And that's how people tell that you have a purpose, and you can clearly tell from the energy and the aura of people who have a vision. They'll always be clear, they'll always be at the juncture of execution, they'll always be lively, they'll always be full of
Yep.
life. You'll never see them, yeah, life is good, yeah, yeah, it's absolutely fine going on. No, they'll always be full of energy,
Yes.
they'll always be full of let's do this, let's do that, I mean, that's what vision is all about, to fuel your life, right? But now the question comes, how do I create a vision for myself? Or what is an example of a vision?
So before we answer this question, the interesting fact that Sagar just mentioned was he gave you an example of that I wish to play guitar. All right. So from wish, which he might have thought, he might have spoken with his wife or sometimes with his friends, the wish turned into a dream sometime back, maybe in his mind, where he's visualizing himself playing a guitar. He's also looking at it that, oh, that would be lovely, when I'm doing this, and it's a nice melody, music that comes out, and people are liking it. All right. From that dream, today, he actually shared this with all of us. Now, the moment he shared, I'll tell you what would have happened inside his brain. There would have been some shift inside his brain because that dream has now turned into a vision. Why? Because when you share with others, when you share with that conviction, when you talk more about your dream, you bring in that responsibility and accountability within you. You bring in that, yes, I really want to do that. And that is where it slowly gets cemented as a vision, that
Yeah.
yes, this is a vision that I have. And then when he's saying that, oh, maybe next episode I may play guitar and or I will be doing something like this, now what he's doing is clearly, imagining himself doing this,
Getting the pieces
getting
together.
the pieces together, and also putting himself into certain goal that, okay, next episode or maybe coming episode I will do this.
Yeah.
So putting it like a goal in front of himself, that yes, maybe I have 1 week, 2 weeks time to do this, but something I will do for this vision that I have.
Or at least go
And
and
he
buy a
is
one.
exactly.
Maybe
So he
the
will
next
start
season.
that that's so that is exactly what his brain has started working, putting some actions together. Okay, this could be the first step for my vision. This could be my second step, and this could be my third step. Why? Because the picture now is getting more clearer in his brain, and that was a fantastic example. I just took that example to help everybody
Absolutely.
understand what You move from a wish to a dream to a vision, and then to your goal, and then to your action plan.
Yep, yep,
That's
yep.
exactly what we are doing. Even for this episode, even for this talk show, that's what we started doing it. And that's why we are doing what we love to do the most.
I mean, imagine, I'm sure you all have seen a movie, Mangalayan.
Yep.
Mangalyan.
Mangalyan.
Yeah. The guy in the movie, the hero, of course, this is scripted, but what it's trying to show us that if you have a vision, if you are convinced that that is possible, people work around it. So what happened is, let's say he wanted to have a mission that he'll go around Mars, and he will do that and he'll deliver the satellite in the Mars. People made fun of him that NASA cannot do it.
Yeah.
Russia cannot do it. And you want to do it? And he said, yes, I want to do it. Why? Because they cannot do it does not mean I cannot do it. Remember, your vision, your journey is something that is meant for you. Don't compare yourself. And that is one funny dialogue that I remember. Your business is your business, or something of that sort. Remember? I think it was race 3.
Yeah.
Our business is our business, it's none of your business, or something of that sort. But again, it's hilarious, but at the same time, what it's trying to meant is everybody has their own journey. Coming back to ISRO, coming back to the Mangalyaan example, the budget crashed in the middle of the project. It went down by 1/3.
Yep.
And the world knows it, that we delivered the satellite in the Mars orbit with the least amount of fuel, with the least amount of cost, and the best possible way to actually launch a satellite, just by getting into the natural trajectory of the orbit. Now, isn't that amazing?
Yeah,
and
very
that
true.
requires a vision of a universe where you're not in control. You don't even see the orbits and Mars, but the guy had a vision.
Correct.
And that's what you should have. Have a vision so clear that nothing can stop you. Right? How to do it? You have a checklist. I'll just put it back on the thing. This is a checklist. You can use that checklist and download it and enjoy creating your own vision. You can always reach to us, and we'll be more than happy to help you, because we want you to live an integrated life. We want everyone to enjoy the integrated life. What is integrated life? We will again reiterate. Imagine work life balance. What is that? Juggling. Work goes up, life comes down, life goes up, work comes down. You're juggling. You are only juggling. End result: guilt, regret, and resentment. Well, live a life of Krishna and other leaders. Why Krishna? Because he actually has integrated his personal life, his warrior life, his family life, his work life. Everything was integrated, right? And that is the reason why he was enjoying everything that he was doing. We can't be Krishna, he was a god, of course, but we can at least take some learning from him and try and enjoy whatever we are doing and create that integrated life for people around us. Most of the time, people say, I've been on a holiday, I've enjoyed it, but heart to heart, they have a guilt of not replying to email, not answering to the calls, or they go down and check the WhatsApp. Yes. And then they come back after a holiday, and then they will tell their boss, I'll just take one day leave because I'm exhausted from the holidays, and I'll take a one day leave. I mean, why did you go on a holiday then? So to recover from a holiday, you need a holiday. Come on. That's exactly the point, that you're not living an integrated life. You are juggling, juggling, juggling. Stop juggling. Work-life balance is a myth. Period. Nothing beyond it. Work-life balance is a myth. Start looking at how you can integrate your life and your family together. Now, we also are living in Vadodara, and Sayaji Rao was a brilliant visionary. I would leave Bharti to share about how he had a vision for Baroda, and even now, after like what, 100 years?
More than 100 years.
His vision still stands and delivers what it wanted to. So, over to you, Bharti.
And I must say that it was Maharaja Sayaji Rao Gaikwad III. It was his vision. And it is so solid and strong that even after like 100, years, people who are like, he has left that legacy. And even after that, people who are were with him and his family members, his entire lineage, they are still fulfilling and living up to the same vision that he always had. So just think about it, like 100 years back, right, from now, or maybe even 100, years back, somebody has a vision that I will build the Baroda state like this. I'll have the university when there were no talking about universities for girls. Girls' education was his primary importance, and he started the first school there. Then there was also the shortage of water. So he built an Ajwa dam for all the water to accumulate at one place, so that never ever the citizens or the people who are living in Baroda, they'll ever have a shortage of water.
Wow.
Why he chose that place is also an interesting fact, because if you look at the geography and the demographics of the place, Ajwa, which is an area which is little outskirts from Baroda, is little at the top,
Mhm.
and naturally the water can flow because it is little higher in the in the place.
So the gravity
So
will.
the gravity itself will push the water, and the water can come towards the Baroda city, and the
Wow.
municipality can do it. So even using what the natural ways
Resources.
resources are, so that was the kind of vision that he had. University not only catering to science, not only catering to commerce, but catering to arts, catering to dramatics, music. So the first music college is here, the first fine arts college, the entire Asia, the biggest library of the Asia is in Baroda. And that was the vision of Maharaja Sayajirao Gaikwad III, to have a huge set of library with so many books. There are like old and old books which are there in the library, and you can access that library.
Wow.
It's only because that he had this vision that I want this Baroda state, the citizens, to not only enjoy the life, not only work, but also look at how we can be knowledgeable, not just educated, but knowledgeable, have that knowledge within us. And also, he built that huge Sayaji garden,
I mean,
which
it's
is
phenomenal.
which is spread across like 2 kilometers,
Yeah.
and it's still there. It's very much there, and it's maintained to the T. And that was the kind of vision that he had since then, and people are still fulfilling it. So we feel very happy and proud to live under this legacy of Maharaja Sayaji Rao Gaikwad.
Absolutely. What is interesting is that he not only had vision but was aware
Yes.
about geography, requirements, future. That's what vision is all about. You need to be aware. Second, he also invested in that thing. You know how he invested? Not only about his time, money, and resources, but I have heard it from a very, very authentic source that he has actually invested 100 crores as an FD so many years back to establish Bank of Baroda. And today, imagine, multiply, do your maths, the compounding interest that could have generated on that FD. And imagine the enriched cash resource that the state has. Brilliant, isn't it? And that's exactly what a visionary needs. You need to be have a clear awareness of what is the things around you, what is the infrastructure around you. And that brings us to a very, very interesting story of our own Sainya Nehwal. We've all seen the movie. We all know how her mother had a vision, not
Yeah.
Sanya.
Saina.
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 She did not have a vision. Her mother had a vision that my girl will play Olympics and she will win a gold. Now, her mother's vision was so clear that she passed it on to her. She not only was aware of the strengths of her baby, she also invested time, energy, resources that she had, but she also kept her motivated to do that. And at the same time, she also set milestones for her. She was strict, shouted at her, she took accountability, and we all know the history, right? She went down, she came back again,
Yeah.
and she's a legend.
Yeah.
Now that's what vision can give you. To cut it short, Dhirubhai Ambani, Karlo Dunya Mutti Mein. We all know what is the thing right now. Geo, Harrods, you name it, and Reliance is there. But two brothers, Mukesh Ambani, Anil Ambani. One carried the legacy vision, one could not. Reasons could be many. What we are trying to tell you is if you have clarity to the vision, success definitely will be at your doorstep. So have a vision, use a checklist, I'm pulling it again, use a checklist, download it, share it with us, and have an integrated life. We will see you soon again in the next episode, which will be next Tuesday,
Yeah.
which will be talking about one more element to have the integrated life.
Yes, and that will be very exciting to see you again next Tuesday, exactly at 9 p.m., with Sagar and me, talking about another element of the Integrated Life Show. And till then, you have 1 week. And here is what we really want to help you download this checklist. Because if you're scratching your heads that where should I start from? How should I write this vision? They did speak about vision, but I don't know what is the first step. Well, that's the first step. Go to that link, check on that vision, check on that entire questions that are mentioned. And I'm telling you, those interesting questions will really put your mind into thinking. It will tease you, it will help you to write, make you clear about what your vision is. And that's the first step. So instead of going to the Google, instead of looking for different kind of sources, you have the source right now. You have at least one piece from the entire puzzle with you. Go to the website, download that checklist, and go through that question. All the questions are mentioned. Once you start answering, you will get clarity about what vision is. How am I going to take my life forward? How will I take this year forward? And if you have any questions, we are right here. You can simply message us, email us, or you can also, we are there on LinkedIn, so you can just put a message on the LinkedIn, or you can simply write us. We'll be really here to help you get your answers to the questions or the doubts that you have. So here is the first step. Just download that checklist, answer all the questions, and you can start your role, start rolling your vision in your life. Because unless you have a big picture, you will not be able to head ahead. You will be heading, but not ahead.
So remember, be in the car, tell the driver where you want to go. Don't think about who the driver is. Just tell the driver where you want to go
Yeah.
and you will reach the destination. Till then, wishing you all a happy Valentine Day and we will see you soon. Thank you very much. Next episode, same time, same place, and see you soon.
Bye.